It's like the biggest house that I ever built, and there's still a lot of work, a lot of construction going on. What's up, y'all? All right, so we're about to go inside my sister's pink shed from 2020, and we are about to do a small miniature construction project, okay? We got a lot of work to do. Let's go ahead and do what we gotta do. All right, so this is the shed. It's a little junky. It's a lot of clutter, but it's all what we need. Today, we're gonna be going under the big pink mansion. And our goal is to move this chair, slide it out of the way. Now, we wanna get under the mansion. Not like completely under the table, but under the mansion. When I say under the mansion, I mean, we want the mansion to be able to turn around and spin. And we're gonna do that by taking this, which is a Lazy Susan, and we're going to take a frame. I think we're gonna take this frame right here, and we're gonna put the Lazy Susan under that frame, which is gonna go under the foundation piece on top of the table and under the house. So if it's with any luck, we'll be able to spin the house around. All right, so the first thing I like to do is start with safety first. I like to start at the safety hat, just in case, because last time when I did this, I had to go completely under the house and under the table, and it could have fell on me, and the table is very heavy, and I'm a human, and I'm made out of mushy, squishy stuff. So yeah, I got my work kind of cut out for me. That's why I like doing projects like this. They just too big sometimes, but let's go ahead and do what we got to do. All right, so once I play, whatever this game called I'm playing, trying to move this and get over there. Yeah, once I do that, I can kind of get to where I got to go at. But this kind of like rock climbing, so make sure you got your rock climbing shoes on for this. All right, hold up. All right, I hope I don't see no lizard, y'all, because I don't do no lizards. Okay. All right, so we made over the first hurdle. Now, the first hurdle was getting over this goddamn chair that I need to move up out of here. Excuse the language. Okay, just the next process right here. So we're going to take this, and we're gonna, be able to put this under the house so we could be able to move it around. So y'all just give me a little bit, because I ain't got nobody holding no camera, so I'll be doing this by myself and all that good stuff. But yeah, I can't wait to get it under the mansion, because that's like the first step to doing what we gotta freaking do. All right, so this is kind of the concept what we're going to go with. We're going to go with putting the Lazy Susan at the bottom of this. This is just an old painting that I have for another project. I don't really need it right now. So I'm going to put this on this and get it under here. Now it's going to lay between this table and between this gold frame. So that's where we're going to put this at. So hopefully we'll be able to twist it and turn it, and I'll let y'all see around the mansion, so I don't have to go over yonder just to look in the inside. I can just stand from right here and just twist it around. Okay. All right, hold up. Can you see me? Am I really recording? Because if I ain't recording, I want to be doing this. All right, so the first thing that we have to do is we're gonna have to get some kind of like some stilts, like jack the house up, like jack it up, so we can be able to slide what we need to slide under the house. Maybe I can do this with one hand. Nah. So I'm gonna have to find something with some stilts or some blocks or something I can raise it up like a car hood. All right, so far a tape measure. I guess the rubber band kind of stuck, but the tape measure is going to work. So we got some room. We can get up in there, and yeah, let's go ahead and try to insert what we need to insert in there. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to slide this on up in there first. This is going to be the part that rolls. Now, I really don't need this piece per se, but to distribute the weight on both sides of the yard and the house, it's best to go ahead and just use this all together. So as long as you can get in there, we should be okay. All right, so the house seems to be a little stuck. I think there's a center beam under the yard. So we're gonna go ahead and try our best to force this in there. The Lazy Susan is all the way right where it's supposed to be. When I say there's a center beam, there's a center beam that's similar to this beam underneath this gold part. I don't know why I built it that way, but it was for support. So I'm gonna try to get it under there the best that I can by lifting up the house a little bit more. Now there is a lot of furniture in the house, so I gotta be very careful not to, you know, lift the house up too much or lift the yard up too much. All right, so we halfway there. It is under the house, but we're gonna fix it a little bit more because the house is slant, and this is kind of the idea, kind of not, but yeah, let me go and fix this real quick. All right, so this is our issue for the house. You see how it is, looks like it's intersecting a little bit. So we're gonna go and fix that. Let's see. Yeah, so we're gonna fix that. That's not a hard fix, it's pretty easy. All right, so there's a center beam that I can see, and I really wish I had another center beam to really make it be kind of even, but you'll see what I'm talking about when I show you. So you see how it's kind of like slant, but that center beam that holds the yard, it's really two parts. So that beam that you see, now that I think about it, they do have certain beams, like metal plates, that you could use instead of using that center beam. Now that I know that, now that I'm thinking about it. But other than that, I mean, the house does spin around, and I'm able to really fully look at it and really, you know, twist it. So I'm a little, it won't turn around like 100% 360 unless I move the house over this way, but this house is built at an angle. So, I mean, I'm glad that I can get this. At least I could spin it around from, I mean, I don't think it's gonna fall. It shouldn't fall, but it is gonna hit a few things, but at least I can, you know, work from front all the way to the back of the house. Uh-oh, I heard something fall. So that's not good when you hear stuff fall. That's not very great, but at the same time, there is still a lot of work to do inside of this pink mansion. It's not gonna look like this when it's completely finished. We're gonna completely finish the inside of the kitchen. We're gonna add some wood beams to the ceilings. We're gonna fully be going into adding hardwood floors. We're gonna have carpets. We printed, when I say printed, I mean we 3D printed most of the furniture, like the cabinets for the kitchen. We're going to really give this kitchen an update. This can be like a butler's pantry. We're going to add a nice arch doorway into this room. Now this is the grand room, or the two-story room. Yeah, a lot has happened in this room. A lot of testing, a lot of sorting, a lot of piecing together. Then we have one of the halls. Now this hall is so you could be able to see, walk, and go through the hallway. Now this is going to be a bedroom / office. Now you see how I have these right here? Now I 3D printed the beams, and this is what I'm going to be 3D printing again and again and again, so I have more, so I don't have to use the foam core ones that I cut out. So we won't need those anymore. And yeah, so this is going to be like an office room / bedroom. That's gonna be like a bathroom. So yeah, we got a lot of work to do in there. All right, so Moving on to the third floor. Now, the third floor is going to have a master bedroom and a master bathroom. None of this is completely finished just yet. We still have a lot of work to do and a lot of, it's just a lot. Like, this house is all over the place, like in the inside. Yeah, it's not 100%. So let me see if I can turn it around some more without hitting anything else. All right, so I see where we're stuck. We're stuck right over there in that corner. So, we can move over a little bit. Okay, so that is good. Oh, this little crawl space right here is going to be covered up, so you're not going to be able to see this with the roof. Now, above, we do have a little attic space. We're going to use some ventilation. That's going to be all up here. Now, as you can see, there is a dome in this house. So this house is going to have a dome in the bathroom with like a little skylight area. This is pretty much the dome area. Now, you could see all the way to like the bottom. So I just like, man, that's going to be really cool to have that there. And I'm going to work with that. Now, moving around, you can really see kind of the inside of the mansion just about. There's going to be some nice stairs going up. Now, this isn't going to be cut into. This is going to be the stairs just going up. And it's going to be like faux stairs, you know, just for the idea. Although this is supposed to lead right here and it's supposed to be cut into. I might not do that. That just kind of depends on how I feel about it. But this right here is going to be our grand bathroom. Now, I've already printed out the cabinets and the sink. I have those printed out, but I still have to do a lot of work. These are just mirrors. I'm not going to really use those mirrors. What I'm going to do instead of those mirrors, I'm going to maybe 3D print some. This was before I even got a 3D printer, and I was like, these will work right, but I want them to look different. But this is going to be the bathroom entry. But going through there, you can see there is going to be, well, actually, that's the door to the kitchen. The French doors, those will be the door access to the kitchen. Now, upstairs, going back to the stairwell room, you can see where the office door is. Now, I do have a library. I didn't point that out, but the library is up here. Once you are inside of the great room, there's like some stairs you go up, and then you have the chandelier, and then you have the library. Now, the library is like shifted around because I moved the house around. So let's actually put this back. Let's put that in there for now. But I really got to get rid of this right here. Like, this is all in my way. All right, but it does, you know, serve its purpose when I need it, but just not right now. But this is the garage. So this house does have a garage. Now, I was debating if I should, this is really like a solid piece of the roof. It's not anything that I can really like access or go inside of, but I might make it whereas I cut a line right through here and you're able to lift it up to reveal another room if we have enough time and if we have enough room. But this house is kind of already taking a lot of time already. But I mean, yeah, it would be really nice. So, you know, just to kind of be able to do that. Now, remember I told you this house is built kind of at an angle. Not kind of at an angle. It is at an angle. And I like that. But yeah, this house is very massive. This is like the biggest house that I ever built. And there's still a lot of work, a lot of construction going on. It's a lot of work. Homes like this take a lot. And at the end of the day, they're actually fun to actually complete, actually to be able to do, because it's big and it's massive. And I like this. Now, I built this house, or I built a house similar to this in 2021 for a dollhouse competition show. Now, that house is in Canada, if they still have it there. It was for a show called The Best in Miniatures. and I had competed against 11 other contestants, and I came in 5th place. I didn't mean to spoil it for you guys, but I came in 5th place. I did not win, but my home was beautiful. I just decided to build a replica of it when I got home. And when I say I built a replica of it, we couldn't take our original homes with us. They were for the show, and they stayed at the show. So before I sent off my plan for the home, I traced a bunch of pieces out of my home just like this. And this home is made out of foam core. And this is foam core. And I hope to actually print this out and build this in wood one day. Just not right now, but this is like a little stack up model. But that was the show, and it was so fun. I met a lot of cool people. It was a great experience. I had a chance to really put my dollhouse building skills to the test. Now, of course, on that show, the house was rushed. And when I say rushed, I mean like I didn't get a chance to put all the furnishings, the finishings that I wanted. This was what I really wanted for the house. Oops. Let me pick that up real quick. All right, hold on. Okay. All right, so this is what I wanted. I wanted something with the stucco. I wanted the stone. I wanted the green siding. I wanted metal roof. I wanted black shingles, all of this. Now, we could not do this in that little bit of time that we had to build the house. We only had about 10 hours a day to work per room. Even building the house. Now, I built this whole house in 10 hours. And it had to be finished on the outside. So I was only able to put stucco or the sand paint texture. That was the whole house. Now, I didn't know it was going to look like that. And when I added the white trim to it, it looked like a gingerbread house. And I was like, you know what? I like that house because this is a gingerbread house. So I was like, oh, I like that. That's going to be nice. Let me keep that. So it didn't end up working out. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to finish it, but now that I'm home, I could actually take my time with this house and actually put whatever I want on it. But that is a tour. Now we're going to add a pond, like a koi pond. There's going to be a koi pond there. And there's going to be a nice yard with nice landscaping. Kind of wish all the stuff wasn't there, but y'all know how construction be. Construction can be really tedious and messy, and it be like that sometimes. But other than that, I mean, the house is really nice, and I'm just glad like I could do this. Like, this is my goal for today. Now, of course, this is not like perfect. It don't have to be perfect, but this is what the goal is today, just so I could be in one spot working on the house. I don't always have to like travel over there like I used to. I can just rotate the house and put it on a lazy Susan. So I would say go ahead and do that. You know, if you have houses like this, get you a lazy Susan or something, and you'll be able to get an access to your home, especially if they're big like this, even if they're small, without, you know, doing too much. So yeah, that is it, y'all. So thank y'all so much for watching. Happy crafting. And I got a lot of work to do. I'm playing project manager for this house and 4 other homes. They're not as big as this one. One is really big, but it's not as big as this one. So yeah, I have fun. I love what I do. So thank y'all so much, and hope to see y'all again. Peace. Woohoo! So I'm able to do a full 360. All right, y'all. So I'm glad I can do a full 360. So yeah, a lot more work to do. I'm so excited. Let me go ahead and get these glasses on and do something else in my life, and I feel like I can move on. Miniature construction is really a lot, but you know, it pays off time after time. So I'm gonna really check y'all out later. Peace. Oh, and one more thing. Never, ever, ever forget, all big dreams start out small. Yeah, all big dreams start out small. No, for real though. All big dreams start out small, which means it just means like start out small. You don't have to be all big and go that big. Just start out small and grow, basically. Always. Oh, and happy crafting. All right, y'all. So the next time y'all probably see me, I don't know when, but I will tell y'all this. I'm probably going to come out with a schedule, like a project manager schedule. You know, a schedule that actually breaks down the tasks, because that's what I want to focus this on, is project management and task building and task breaking. For example, let's just say like if I want to complete this house by a certain amount of time, like give myself 2 months to do it, or at least 3 months to do it. That means you got to start with the first task, the simple task or the most important task first. And a lot of times in construction, before you even begin construction, you start with the plan. And from starting your plan, then you have different routes. For example, dollhouse building is a little similar, but a little bit different from actual real buildings, because you don't have to go to planning safety. You don't have to get inspections by fire and safety, water. There's no plumbing. You don't have to do all of that. However, you do and you should have a schedule, which will be saying, okay, the first thing you're going to do is lay the foundation, and then you're going to build the second floor, then the third floor, and then you're going to put on the shingles, then you're going to paint the roof, then you're going to add the windows, you're going to add doors, you're going to paint everything, and you're going to add the interiors like the flooring, the wallpaper, the lights. It's good to be on a schedule, which means on Friday through that next Monday, you should be having this done and completed. Then you're going to come back and you're going to check and see if you've completed your task, or if you got ahead of your task, if you got behind. A lot of times when it comes to construction and just building in general, I would say you can fall behind. Sometimes it just kind of depends. Like if you are ordering a product from another country, for example, if you're ordering something from China and you're in the United States, of course, it's going to take a lot longer than ordering it from another state versus ordering from overseas. So sometimes you got to look at your schedules, and that might, you know, interfere with your scheduling. Other things that might interfere is if you run out of something, and let's just say like if you don't have it in the budget. Having a budget is very important, because if you don't have a budget, that's good, but that's also bad, because you can go overboard with your spending. Like for this house, I didn't have a budget. I just had a bunch of tools and supplies. But as I was building it and I was making it more fancier and I wanted more items and more things, it kept growing and eating into my wallet. And I was like, okay, if I get a 3D printer, yes, that's the extra cost, that's the extra fee, but I could print out my things that like I want to, and I don't have to depend on going to the store all the time. So that also gonna save me some gas. But you still have to buy things. Like if you have a 3D printer, I have the one that you could just, you know, it stands up and it just prints out. I don't have that fancy one where you can just soak it in some acetone, or if you call it that. I don't have that one. I don't even want that one. But the one I have was good enough to print out columns and, you know, things like this. See, if I was to actually buy these at a store, like I'd be spending a lot more money versus just printing it out on my own. And I can print it out like this instead of just having to buy it hand in, you know, like buy it one by one. And it saves me a lot of money too as a builder. So those are a couple things that I will say. You know, having a schedule is always good, and make sure you stick to it. Yes, sometimes things go wrong, but still stick to your schedule. Meaning, if you're gonna have this ready by Friday, stick to it. And also, it would help if I had multiple hands working on a project like this, because doing it by yourself is kind of like, okay, I can only do the windows today, but I need somebody doing the plumbing, the electrician. I need somebody doing this, doing that. So yeah, as a project manager, I would definitely say manage your tasks wisely. You can still get it done. So that is going to be the purpose of me building these homes and keeping myself on track and doing this. And if you want to be a project manager, you can definitely be a project manager. It's not that hard. And anybody can manage a project, like start to finish. Like, yeah. So that's all I want to say. Thank y'all for watching again. Happy crafting, folks. Peace.